Solar farms are much more than simply energy generators. Conventionally, they were thought of as a lucrative income stream for farmers, but in competition with arable or livestock farming. With hindsight, with change in technology and research that we and others have done recently, we've been able to demonstrate that the trade-off can be avoided and one can achieve both a diversified income and an enriched wildlife habitat with greater biodiversity for all categories of living organisms in rural and peri-urban areas. And as we'll hear now from the experts, this means that government policies on biodiversity and local nature recovery enhancement can be achieved as part of these initiatives so that everybody benefits.
The point I would want to stress is their potential contribution to power supply resilience. That power supply must be resilient. At the moment, that resilience is provided by diesel generators, emergency backup diesel generators. That's no longer going to be possible, and so the power supply has to be far more resilient, and that means, I think, having the right sort of interconnective infrastructure that ensures there's alternative sources of power always, perhaps local storage, and I think as part of that package, like solar farms can provide something really valuable. We need to be working at a bigger scale, collaboratively. So my message would be of encouraging joint working and collaboration in the planning of energy supply, energy resilience, and new development.
Planning policymakers are building an awareness of practices and case studies which show that solar energy facilities designed alongside the needs of local nature systems and habitats have produced positive impacts. This includes introducing shading for species and agricultural livestock to previously open sites, and the insertion of pollinators as wildflower meadows along the verges of PV panels and solar farms. Such solutions can support the reversal of biodiversity loss while assisting in clean energy transitions locally and regionally.
As a trade association, we support our members to do their best for biodiversity on solar farms and to highlight the potential for solar farms to support biodiversity. We run members' steering groups and working groups dedicated to identifying the opportunities and barriers that exist for promoting natural capital on solar farms. We've also produced several supporting documents. We developed a standardised approach to ecological monitoring on solar farms, which allows us to collect data from solar farms and analyse the results. We produce an annual report on this data called Solar Habitat. While biodiversity net gain is likely to bring biodiversity forward in the considerations of all developments in England, it has been common for solar farms to include biodiversity enhancement as part of their design because, as well as the inherent benefit for biodiversity, it helps make solar farms more appealing to local communities.
There was a biodiverse desert here, but since we've been under the heads of terms for the land use, we've been able to not put any pesticides or fertilizers on here. We've sown the fields with wild meadow, we've enhanced the hedgerows, we've allowed the field margins to grow, we've introduced seasonal wetlands, we've extended limestone grasslands, and all that has resulted in a significant uplift in the biodiversity across the site. So we have studies that measure the flora, the fauna, the invertebrate numbers, the bird numbers, and it's remarkable to be able to compare those to what the base level studies were from 8 years ago. What we've done here is show how you can build a solar farm, demonstrate the environmental benefits, help mitigate against climate change, significantly improve the biodiversity, and make it financially rewarding for investors and for the community by having this revolving community fund. What I see as one of our biggest achievements is being able to move the Cotswolds National Landscape from a position of objection to what we did here, to supporting what we do here. And we're now included in the Cotswolds National Landscape Annual Report on how you can sensitively develop a solar farm in a designated area.
One interesting finding during this research was the reason behind most of the refuse planning applications, which were related to the protection of the environment and the biodiversity. In fact, if a solar farm is well managed and thoughtfully designed, it will protect and support a thriving ecosystem. By introducing biodiversity-focused designs, solar farms could be a solution for both global challenges, climate change and biodiversity loss. Solar farms are not only energy infrastructure. They are also a vital element to protect our environment.
When planned with biodiversity in mind, solar farms can become a haven for wildlife, as well as generating a sustainable income for farmers and landowners and helping to meet the country's demand for clean energy. The future of solar farms, of all sizes and forms of organisation, is bright. The future of energy is green, and all of this can be achieved while sustaining both people and planet.